All right, we're live back at the Orlando Money Show with Tom Sosnoff. And Tom, so you have a very big presence at the show lately. It's been awesome. I love your booth.
Thank you.
And I do love your logo, the little cherry. Can you just tell me, how did you pick that cherry? Cherry picking?
Not really,
no?
but
Okay.
we've played with a lot of different logos. You know, we're big into marks, and so our mark has always been important to us. So, so we messed around with a lot of marks a couple of years ago. We wanted something that was kind of, you know, sweet and memorable.
Yeah, I love it.
So with the cherry. And then Apple copied us and did that stupid Apple thing. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's always going to have that. But I like the cherry. It's good. I think you're doing like some tattoos and stuff at the show.
Yeah. You want a cherry tattoo?
I do.
We'll
I do. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No problem.
The stuff that we do at the shows. We have a lot of fun at the shows. It's really great. We learn a lot. I know Tom has quite a few speakers. We say had 6 speakers here.
We have 6 speakers, yeah.
Talking about different option strategies. You know, the IV on options, really high right now.
Well, the last 2 weeks,
I know. I mean, out of control. How do you get around that?
Why would you want to get around it?
Well, how are you trading it?
So the thing with implied volatility is all it is it's an expected move, right? So when implied volatility is high, that means fear levels are high and expected move is high.
Right.
But that's also the most opportunistic time in the markets. So high implied volatility is actually really good for individual investors. It's low implied volatility where you take the most amount of risk for the least amount of return. High implied volatility is the least amount of risk for the most return.
Oh, awesome. So you can definitely take advantage of that.
Sure.
Ah, very good. So you guys have a platform. You strictly do options on it?
Stock, options,
stocks,
futures.
Crypto?
Sure.
Oh, you do crypto. Yeah. What are your thoughts on crypto right now?
Right now it's a pretty dead product. So I'm actually going to be speaking a little bit about it tonight, but right now the crypto, specifically the Bitcoin market, it's reeling a little bit. It's been in free fall, and it's a little bit it's on the verge of becoming irrelevant, but right now it still has a little bit of life left to it. Let's just say it's on life support.
Dead cat bounce?
Not so much a dead cat bounce, but just when crypto volatility is 130 and stock market volatility is 10, cryptos are interesting. When cryptocurrencies have a volatility of, let's say, 100, and the stock market has a volatility of 30 or 35, there's no reason to trade cryptos.
Right.
It's a game of speculative assets. It's not a game of, the cryptocurrency by definition doesn't mean anything.
So how many different cryptos can you trade on your site?
On the listed exchanges, you can only trade one, just Bitcoin right now.
Oh, so you're just doing Bitcoin?
Yes, because it's the only listed product.
It's the most voluminous one.
Yeah.
I think,
Sure. It's the biggest market cap, and it's the only one that trades on listed exchanges.
And are there a lot of people trading it right now, though?
No, there's virtually nobody.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, there's customers, there are individual investors still trading cryptocurrencies in the over-the-counter marketplace, the cash marketplace, but in the listed marketplace, there's almost nobody trading it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've been trading it through bitstamp.net,
right. So
which
you've
is
been trading
overseas.
You've been trading it in the over-the-counter marketplace, which is a very different marketplace. We don't support those marketplaces because we don't feel comfortable with the counterparty risk to our customers' capital.
Right. Yeah, I tested it out. It worked. I mean, my executions were good.
I'm sure it works. But when you run a firm, you do not want your customer capital going to a place that you don't.
Right.
There's no transparency on their books.
Yes. Oh, okay, so there you have it. Awesome. Good stuff. So, anything else you want to add today?
Well, the only thing I'll add to people that are curious about the Money Show and why we come to do these events is because there are an incredible amount of very public and loud takeaways, and then there's a lot of really silent and kind of takeaways that you just absorb from being around other people and talking, on topics that you don't normally get to talk about. The universe of individual investors is very small. And it's kind of, I almost want to say it's almost cult-like to the extent that we're talking about a few 100,000 people in a world of a few billion people. So when it really comes down to events like the Money Show, what we feel is special about it, why we've been doing it so actively for the last 20 years, is it really gives an opportunity to talk about things that you rarely get to talk about or hear, or just engage in some kind of debate,
Yeah.
which we like.
I feel the same way. I mean, my
It's
girlfriends, they just want to go shopping and go eat, and I can't really talk about stocks with them. So coming to the show and being able to talk about it with, we have thousands of people here. It's a very
like
big
we
turnout.
Just had a discussion on, in 3 minutes, we just had a discussion on Bitcoin, digital currencies, volatility, and unusual markets and market corrections.
Right.
You could spend the next 3 months, without having that conversation, and here you can have that conversation, every 3 seconds.
Yeah,
So it's cool.
that's awesome. Well, thank you for having the conversation with me today.
Thank you so much.
Tom, and thanks for being here.
Thanks so much.